Hi everyone and a very warm welcome back to Warno. Today we are with the War Yes Warno Let Loose modded tournament. Again, this was at the weekend and there was $400 up for grabs, split obviously in the prize money. $300 I think for the winner. This is again in the semi-finals. Today we are watching Lathans and Int3ger. Int3ger with a different name, the Kaiser meta, which is cheese meta. Obviously very fitting for the master of insanity and chaos. Lathans is over on the right in red, playing as the Berliner Gruppierung, which used to have a different name. And then over on the left in blue, we have Int3ger playing as the 2nd Panzergrenadier division. 2nd Panzergrenadier, quite popular in this tournament so far. Gina napalm jets coming in here, going for this area by the looks of it. Are they going to catch these vehicles out? They do drop. Now, while the explosions appeared a bit further forward, it looked like that was a bit further back. Hasn't managed to actually kill anything yet. Very normal spread of units for the Lathans, I would say. A bit everywhere with a focus in the center. Int3ger going very heavy at the top and obviously buying those jets early. I think he did manage to kill a transport vehicle, but that was all. So FS Jaeger destroyed at the other side, down here by the looks of it. And a Lux also destroyed somewhere. Lux managing to engage on these units here. Not a lot here for Lathans. More of a defensive force and sort of harassment. Certainly Int3ger will get that point. Power 1 in here. Weirdly, way up front with the HOT. Command vehicle coming in the back there. I'm surprised that chopper is still alive. Lux managing to do some damage to the SPG-9. Jets going back in. Wow. Strafing runs. Very, very effective with those jets. In the center, though, Lathans firmly in control of that area. A little bit wavering here. It's sort of... I mean, Lathans has control, technically. But he doesn't have a lot there. He has... Oh, well, I take it back. He has a lot of reinforcements coming in. Well, lots of Strellas. Lots of Strellas to try and deal with these jets. He's now calling in some Jaeger over that side. Another napalm jet coming in at the top here. Going for these buildings. And there's quite a sizable force there for Int3ger. This feels like a weird start to this map due to the fact that Int3ger seemed to do so much at the bottom, but Lathan's still in control of that area. I don't think he's going to necessarily be dislodged. That took quite a lot of fire from something. There's a cub down here. I assume that got a shot off. Par 1 here, I think being used more as a scout than it is to do any damage, obviously. I think it's just being brought up to sort of reveal where the infantry are. Not a bad idea. I mean, they're not the cheapest choppers, though. I'm sure a scout chopper would be cheaper if they're available. Lux being moved around the back here. Only one squad of Jaeger there, protecting that command. I'm sure Int3ger would love to get an early kill on a command like that. Int3ger... Oh! Int3ger on the move. He's going for the back point at the top here. I wasn't expecting an immediate push through, but we did see Hippie in the previous game do the same thing to a wooden box early on. Loads of Zishrons coming in towards the center now. And Panzergrenadier, lots and lots of stuff coming in the middle here. Loads of Panzergrenadier Armadas. More squads of infantry coming in the bottom here for Lathans. He's still trying to bring in stuff at the top as well to deal with this encroaching force. There is the command arriving now. Obviously quite frustrating for Lathans, I'm sure, losing that back point at this stage and not being able to do the same at the bottom. However, his forces in the middle aren't that mobile. I was about to say, however, I wonder if he could push through the Gulf, but no, I don't think so. He doesn't really have vehicles. He's more got lots of infantry in there, and it's not going to move fast enough to sort of act on Gulf, whereas here, obviously, Int3ger's got a lot of vehicles, and it allowed him to push straight in there. Counter command has come in for that point though and has neutralized things out again. Lux here being an absolute nightmare for Lathans. Should be destroyed by the Motsuchin BTR coming up the rear there. Anti-tank jet coming in as well. There it goes. Both Lux destroyed. Command is in here for Int3ger though. Back to +1. Lathan still has that early head start. Oh, he's losing. Never mind, Int3ger has realised. I was about to say he's losing units here. He only lost one transport with infantry in it. The others have all been deployed now. Those other reinforcements coming in slowly. Napalm bombers coming in. Going to try and do some damage to these infantry. Still an anti-tank jet in play up here. Has taken fire from a tornado, but is evacing. Tornado taking fire from the Cubs. Cubs now out of missiles, though. Did Agena? I think Agena went down there. One of the napalm bombers must have gone down. I don't think he actually got any kills. It's possible they were warded off before they dropped their bombs. We did move away from the area. Lathans managing to keep units in this town and sort of keep it semi-secure. Though, look at this. Sneaky, sneaky around the back. Anti-tank jet coming in. Tornado is engaging on it. Oh, it's going for the command. It's going for the command. Oh, anti-tank jet is down. Command is safe for the moment. Did manage to smoke itself. Scorpion's pushing around here. Obviously hunting for that command vehicle. Good harassment here from Int3ger, to be honest. Pushing and being aggressive. Moving lots of recon units around the back of the lines to try and do damage from behind. Seems like Lathans is starting to get a handle on that, though. But equally, doing it on different parts of the map just all adds to that harassment. Adds to that stress that Lathans will be feeling. God knows I would be feeling very stressed. A real battle down here for this point as well. Int3ger really struggling to maintain his foothold as Lathans brings in more fresh troops. Those Motsuchin that were all the way back here, he also has supply ready to move in. And these are just plain Zisharungs. They're nothing too fancy. Napalm bomber coming in again. Is taking fire from the single Strela that remains after getting bombarded by those Lux. I think certainly Lathans has the upper hand there in terms of units available. There's also an anti-tank gun coming in at the back there, weirdly. I think that's to stave off any more Lux or anything getting around the back. Up at the top, we do see Lathans shifting his command vehicle out the way. Motsuchin being brought in to try and deal with these around the back. And some T-55s, which should be very effective against those Scorpions. Now, as you'll notice, infantry do last longer in this mod. There is definitely an increased time to kill. Marder's coming in here, engaging on this building. Does look like Lathans has wrestled control of the point back. He will only have to deal with the two Marders, the infantry there, and the command. I think that's doable. A couple more squads coming in there as well, including a Metis launcher, will be useful against those vehicles. Command has finally been killed at the top as well. I'm not sure what got it up there, but that command is dead. Most of the units around the back have also been dealt with, while Lathan's command has survived. Reinforcements being brought into that area, though, including, by the looks of it, another command tank. No, the command tank is going to the center. Obviously, Int3ger has made progress and maintained control of that side of the center. Now, at this stage of the game, with 30 minutes left, it's looking pretty even in terms of numbers on the field right now. Lathans is managing to regain control of the points he sort of lost at the top and bottom there. There is another command heading this way. Lathans currently at +1 due to controlling the center. Panzer Grenadiers pretty far up now. They're not the biggest squads, but Lathans units are quite badly damaged. His supply is empty. The Marder's pushing around here, looking for that command vehicle. Some scimitars coming in, another Lux coming in there. These Zischerungs. One man left. Those Metis finally arriving. They've taken a long time to get from the back there. T-55's moving in as well now. And another one of these guns moving in at the top here. It's not something we see used a lot, and very, very rarely, to be honest, in any kind of ranked game or tournament games especially. So it's quite interesting to see that brought in. I believe their damage type has been changed so they don't die quite so easily. Tornado coming in to try and deal with the Su-22 down here. Again, that anti-tank doing some damage. Mostly strafing infantry, but here come those Marders looking for a kill on a command. Command is all the way back here now, though. Tornado engaging on that SU. SU takes some damage and is evacing. Tornado trying to come around for another pass. Obviously, you'll notice those turning circles much better in this mod. Oh, SU goes down. I thought it might have got out there. Command has arrived here for Int3ger, but hasn't actually managed to make it in the point yet. It's just sat right on the edge. Has managed to get his command back in here. I think that's because Int3ger is focusing on the top and bottom rather than the center of the map right now. Command is running away from those Motsuchen and the T-55s, which will be coming in to try and kill it. Tornado coming in for a strafing run on some of that infantry. Reasonably effective. Cubs still not resupplied. There is a munitions vehicle there for that one. Scimitar around here. Just keeping an eye on things. Command once again dead up here for Int3ger. As Lathans continues to wrestle control of that point back. I think Lathans is in a reasonably good position right now. He's still slightly ahead in points. And he's managing to wrestle control back. And it's starting to look more in his favour in terms of numbers on the map. He's got a lot up here that can be moved forward into Foxtrot. And he's got a reasonable amount here in defence. And I'm sure these tanks and things will be repositioned elsewhere. Whether he makes a move on Hotel, I'm not sure. But he certainly could manoeuvre things up towards the centre to help out there. He will also want to deal with these scimitars if he's seen them coming in. Although Int3ger's not giving up without a fight. Look at this. He's moving in more infantry and Marders. And he's moving in some more choppers down here as well. Obviously the choppers with the intent of dealing with these T-55s. T-55's just getting into a safer position up there. It's stalemated in the middle now. Quite a lot of forces building up there for Int3ger. He obviously has his command in as well, but everything's neutralized right now. And with the loss of the command down here, the question now becomes, how many commands does Int3ger have left? He's lost a command tank, a command vehicle. So I assume he's got at least one command infantry left. But whether he's got any command tanks left, I doubt it. Possibly more command vehicles if he had any more in the deck, but you know, he's had the two that would usually get in a stack or on a card. I can't imagine that he's going to have much success retaking this point now. Lathans is a lot more dug in, although saying that, you know, a lot of these infantry are damaged already. These guys are trying to get in this building here. I'm very surprised. How on earth did those Marders not open fire on that Strela? Surely they could see it there. Some progress here by Int3ger in the middle has forced a redeploy of Lathan's command. Now, in fairness, it does look like Int3ger has more available to him in the center right now. This will require Lathans to probably do a push at the top and take control of Foxtrot to really make Int3ger think about sending units up that way. Down here, it's feasible for Int3ger to get back into this town, but I think there's enough defending here. I mean, the T-55 should deal with the Marders, although these choppers might kill those tanks. That's a difficult one to call. I feel like it's in Lathan's favour. Up here at the top, looking like Lathans again, just he's got the better position. He's got more units there. Mortars being used here, I think, for harassment and damage rather than smoke. Yes, just hitting this area. I mean, Lathans is doing a lot with very little in the middle. I mean, you know, he's got a smattering of units spread across there. Lots of reinforcements arriving, incidentally. But it seems to be holding back the tide from Int3ger there. Int3ger does have lots of napalm coming in again from the bottom here. There is an SU-22 AT coming in to try and finish off these choppers. And that's all the choppers down now. And the tanks have survived that. Napalm bombers coming in. Bombs going all over the place. Not seemingly hitting anything in particular, to be honest. I think they must have been stressed out as they came in. Certainly that one's taking fire from ground defences, badly damaged. Tornado F3 in, trying to deal with those SUs still, but it is out of the map. The big skirmish is here right now. Now, Lathans is moving up here. He is going to push into Foxtrot, though at the same time, Int3ger does have a little bit more defense there than he did originally. And he's being quite aggressive here, though he's now meeting all those reinforcements that Lathans called in. And this may make him think twice about pushing in further. Here is the M48 spam coming in as well now to try and do some damage to all this infantry. But Lathans is held down here very well with some already damaged infantry, no less. He's done a good job there. And up here, he is managing to push out. Int3ger very effective early on. As always, the Master of Mayhem getting behind the lines, doing some damage with those recon vehicles. You know, causing a mayhem, basically. A lot of chaos. It's now the case that Lathans has slowly built up his forces, has managed to push back, and has certainly got a lot of kills under his belt at the top and bottom of the map. Really, it's all about what happens in the center now. At the moment, it looks like Lathans is progressing at every point on the map. He's held down here and is building up forces. He's held the top, or retaken it, and is pushing out. And at the center here, he's managed to push back across in this point. These infantry being very effective at clearing up all these units that were at the front. Those tanks coming in now, though, and plenty of Marders here, and some more tanks up there. He does have anti-tank available to him from these squads, but he does need to be reasonably close to them to do some damage. Seed coming in there, but does take fire from the anti-air. I think this is the undoing of Lathan's infantry, is all of these vehicles, all of these tanks just laying down so much suppressive fire, so much supporting fire. More tanks coming in for Lathans as well. His forces at the top looking a little bit thinner on the ground as he pushes further up. I think he still outnumbers what Int3ger has. Down at the bottom, oh my word, Int3ger has got infantry back into this town. I can't believe he's actually made it to the buildings. I'm genuinely impressed with that. I didn't think there was any chance after that last attempt failed. Marker's going down on the anti-air there. Integer obviously hoping to use some artillery perhaps, or some bombers to do some damage there. Napalm bomber coming in here. Looks stressed out, but its cohesion is actually high. It's a graphical glitch, so please do ignore the fact that the bar is red. FS Jaeger coming in as well now. Where are these guys going? Heading here to try and help defend, but Lathans continues to make progress. Panzer Jaegers coming in towards the center now to help deal with these vehicles. And look at this, mass T-34/85 spam coming in. How many is that there? Quite a lot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 tanks. That is a lot of tanks coming in there. Uragan coming in at the back as well. Now Lathans does like his Uragan. We've seen that used in many a tournament game by Lathans. It's the first time we've seen it brought in here. Quite late in the game. He's obviously feeling like he has enough forces on the field, or he's running out of forces in the rest of the deck and decided it's time for the Uragan. But certainly will be very effective at dislodging large groups in the center here. At the bottom there, Integer isn't going to be able to make much more progress, I don't think, into Echo. He's just got a smattering of units around there, but really can't afford to be spending money there when he really needs to hold Foxtrot and needs to keep the center as tightly controlled as he can. Right now, he cannot lose ground. He's at 408, Lathans at 283, so Integer has the advantage, but he has to hold. If he doesn't hold, Lathans will now overwhelm him. And all of these tanks have me worried. There is a lot there for Integer to deal with. He's already got these 3 tanks pushing in and cleaning up those M48s, along with the Panzer Jaegers, which obviously make very short work of vehicles. Marders here with some Panzer Grenadier Marders moving in as well, but they're going to be coming up against an SPG-9 which still has shots left, and all of these tanks moving down to deal with them as well. And then all of this here, I genuinely think Integer may be in trouble in the center here. If all of these tanks just move aggressively across that area, I think all of these vehicles at the back are in serious trouble. There is not a lot of infantry there to stave off tanks at close range. T-34s moving in this way as well, going to get up close and personal. I'd be very worried about that command tank now. More Jaeger coming in to the center as well, but I don't think it's going to be much help down there at the moment. Lathan still making slow, but it is progress at the top. It is slow progress, but it is progress down here at the bottom. I mean, there are reinforcements coming in, but they're heading straight to the center. There's definitely going to be no movement down here now. Integer maintaining control here. There is a command coming in though, a T-68, so it's a pretty strong tank command to go in the back there, and I don't think there will be a command from Integer to counter that. I still think he has 1 infantry command left, but I'm not 100% on that. Yeah, here we go. All these tanks moving in, charging straight through to the back here, surrounding these units, making sure that they cannot escape. Very good tactic here from Lathans. So basically, if this tank tries to escape out the back, which I imagine it's going to, it will be caught out by all of these T-34s back here. Very slow moving, but, you know, purposeful moving from Lathans here with these infantry as well, guaranteeing kills at close range with these Panzer Jaeger. Yeah, there we go. These tanks moving all the way around the back there. He will probably push straight into the back point as well. Still 1 Marder remaining down here. Air defense is moving up as well. Lathan's feeling pretty confident. Certainly looking at the map, as we saw a little while ago now, certainly a lot more units on the map for Lathans, and that has only increased. The pressure is on. There's the command in that point now. Lathan's in complete control of the center, complete control of the top, and complete control of the bottom. Only the back points remain. He is +4. Those points will tick up quickly now to overtake Integer. There is a Leopard to a 3 command, so there were more commands in the deck for Integer. Another command being brought in for Lathans as well. The Uragan is now firing at that Jaguar at the back there. Not sure it's going to achieve too much versus the Jaguar, but I'm assuming Lathans just isn't sure what's at the back. Lathans has managed to push through here, reversing his tanks a little bit as he's taking fire from these choppers and the M48s that are coming in there. Down at the bottom, Int3ger moving up his infantry a little bit, perhaps just hoping to harass slightly. Maybe put a little bit of pressure back on Lathans, but realistically now, I think it's going to be very, very hard for Int3ger to pull this back, even with a mighty Leopard 2A3 command tank and a 2A3 coming in as well. I mean, this is the expensive gear coming out now, but it might be just too little too late. Potential to push in here, but he is up against the anti-tank gun, which does have missiles. There is an AM2 T55 there, the T64 obviously as well. It's difficult to say. I mean, they will definitely pull up a fight, those tanks. In the middle, Lathans obviously extended quite far and has lost all those very cheap tanks, but very effective tanks. Int3ger pushing his command tank back down here. Will be aiming to get back in the center. Marder engaging the Strelas here. T55 coming in here. More Strelas coming in. Another T55 coming in from the top. A little bit of skirmishing here from those units that have moved up. Oh. Well, there we go. Lathans has the answer to those Leo 2A3s. He has T80s in the deck. And there they are. Two T80Bs coming in at the bottom there. Will be quickly moved to the center as soon as he realizes those 2A3s are coming in. He will want to deal with those very quickly. And there he goes. He will definitely have seen that 2A3 command moving in there. T55 will not do well against that 2A3. More T55s coming in. Urgan being moved up to get some supply from that chopper. There we go. Command has made it in. Just +2 to Lathans now. It is enough. He is way in the lead. And, well, the map is very red. He still has all those extra units. I'm curious to see what happens. Oh, the Leo 2A3 is immediately pulled back out as all of these Panzerjäger were moving in for it. That's probably a very wise decision. I completely forgot the Panzerjäger were all over the place. Look at this. Lathans with a Panzerjäger around the back. Getting a little bit of Int3ger's mayhem in the mix here by having some units around the back. Obviously, really putting that tank at risk here. These haven't been seen. What's the range on that weapon? Pretty close range. Penetration is 20. A nice side shot or rear shot here from these Panzerjägers, and that tank is done. Leopard 2A3 here, doing some good clearing up. Does manage to kill that anti-tank gun pretty effectively. Look at these Panzerjäger coming in for the rear shot. Let's zoom in for this one. Really curious how much damage one shot will do to the back armor. Surely that has... Oh, it's not line of sight yet. This is going to turn. Turret's turning. Tank's turning. It will be a side shot, but it is dead. It gets the kill. I think that was 2 rockets in the side. 2 RPGs. Did the job. There is an Iltis command down here. I think that's a new one that's been brought in. I don't think the old one survived. Unless I'm cracking up. 11 minutes left in this game. Lathans back to +4. Way out in the lead. I think Int3ger was hoping he could possibly get his command back in the bottom here. He is driving... Oh, we're going for the old smoke trick. He is smoking the area to try and get this command in. That SPG-9 obviously doesn't actually have view on that road. It looks like it should, but it obviously can't see the command vehicle coming in. I was expecting it to take a shot there. And there we go. Smoke on that command. Command should be relatively safe as long as the smoke keeps falling. Unless Lathans moves up close and personal. He is just running to it, look. He's moving all of these units up to deal with it. The SPG-9 as well, just getting up close and personal. Cluster bombers coming in here to deal with that tank at the top, and there's the surrender. Really, really hard fought by both players there. It was looking a bit dicey for Lathans at the start as Int3ger managed to claim the top, was putting a lot of pressure on at the bottom and seemed to be securing a good position in the center. But Lathans, just building up those forces, taking his time, managed to retake everything. Obviously, 2,000 point difference in kills and losses at the end there. Pretty obvious by what was on the map, but that was a pretty tight game for a long time, and it was just towards the midpoint Lathans managed to turn things around. Let's have a quick look at the units there and see what was performing well. T-55 was doing alright, as we might expect. The Motsuchin did a really good job there. Motsuchin, again, doing a pretty good job. That gun was doing a pretty good job against mainly vehicles with infantry squads, Jaguar 2. I'm quite impressed by that. You don't see them performing very well that often, but I think Lathans should be pleased with that. That's about it that was really stand out there. On the other side, Scimitar doing alright there, but there's nothing's really jumping out. Oh, wow. Yeah, that chopper that came in towards the end there killed a lot of T-34s. He'll be pleased with that. I mean, MVP, though, has to go to that tank gun. Or the anti-tank gun. I don't know what you want to call it. That's quite a lot of kills. And I mean, it didn't get any tanks, I'll grant you. But it killed plenty. That's quite a good bit of performance, that, for something we don't see often in these tournament games. Congratulations, Lathans. Commiserations, Int3ger. Well played to both of you. Some really sneaky round-the-back tactics from both players there, actually, by the end of the game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please do like, share, subscribe. I'll see you all soon for some more Warno.